a lot of people still don't understand it. And I would say, not to be judgmental, I think it's the older people that don't understand it. And they don't understand why younger people, like people even our age, could have low testosterone in some form. What is called endocrine disrupting chemicals, or EDCs. We usually refer to them as endocrine disruptors or androgen disruptors, things like this. So, your endocrine system is your hormone system in your body. Most people know bisphenol A, BPA. Some people have heard of it, some people have not. A lot of people will see that BPA free kind of like sticker that they throw on plastic shit. It's it's a good kind of saving grace in a way. I think mostly because it will spread awareness, and hopefully people will be able to catch on and be like, "Hey, there's compounds that fuck up your shit, truly." And I think that's a good thing for sure. Avoiding BPA and knowing why you should for things such as testosterone and SHBG, all of these regulatory molecules that can interfere with your body and your hormone systems directly. Over here on the left, they show a cycle of sorts. And this is a woman with a pregnant baby. And this is how things get transferred on, and ultimately even worse. And this is why kids can have low testosterone. And I was even talking with some friends the other day, talking about the prevalence of gender kind of dysphoria and people becoming trans. Like if androgens are exposed to your brain, then you can have a masculinized brain, but your body may not become masculinized because of endocrine disruptors like this. So, just going over this, they have hormonal dysregulation when you get EDC exposure, inflammation, oxidative stress, metabolic alterations, epigenetic modifications, microbiome alterations. That covers the whole gamut of things that can be affected, and it's not even calories in, calories out. So, what the fuck? Um, but overall, these things in our plastics, these things that are in our toiletries, shampoos, conditioners, soaps, all of these have potential issues and disrupt our hormone system. Soy intake, soy lecithin are correlating highly with things like autism spectrum disorder. I mean, autism is huge now. And I think if we were to look at a graph to correlate glyphosate pesticides, which is also a EDC, all of these correlations with incidents of things like Alzheimer's, things like autism, it would just be a very one-to-one correlation, I believe. This is in our food supply. It's basically everywhere. It's almost unavoidable, truly. Even my butcher box is fucking encased in plastic. So,
Yeah, same with my meat source too.
yeah, it's just everywhere. There's things we can do to reduce it, but it's gonna, I think, be the next thing because we've learned about the microbiome and its effects, and now eventually we will learn about the endocrine disruptors that we're just completely saturated with these days.
Right, right. It's really in
So,
everything. Cleaning supplies, tap water is a huge one.
yeah,
There's a lot of dangerous stuff, which is really interesting that they bring it up in this article. So good,
yeah. I
good
think it's,
topic.
yeah, it's just a good thing to be aware of and look at. I don't want to be once again Alex Jones level, and it doesn't even have to be corporations or government attacking its citizens to, of course, profit not only on the food end, the processing end, but also in the hospitals, the for-profit healthcare. But it could also be other countries, like other countries, China. I mean, there was that whole thing with China using, what was it, iron in the paint on kids' toys. And I mean, I don't think that was deliberately an act of war, but who knows? Perhaps in some fashion, could be.
Listen, everything's an act of war. And China and Russia, they're all war. They're all part of it. We're funding both sides of the war. All the frogs are gay.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's these endocrine disruptors that turn the freaking frogs gay. And
Well, frogs also have the ability to change.
yeah,
There's certain animals that can change genders.
some species have the capacity
Cancel.
to change it. at
Cancel.
will. There's there's even, I believe, some type of goddamn, I can't remember what animal it was, but they can actually change their gender based on the needs for the population to survive.
That's the one I was talking about. That
Yeah.
they did the whole experiment on.
Was it
We've
a
talked about
frog?
that.
I think it's some type of reptile or cold-blooded animal, but I can't recall.
Based on
So-
supply and demand.
Yeah. So, question for you, JMO, kind of in this vein of thinking, but not specifically. Hypothetical. If you were hooking up with a baddie, like perhaps someone that you really enjoy hooking up with, and they are a baddie, would you switch bodies? So you're in their body and they're in
Yeah.
your body,
I
and
could
would
be
you,
the baddie.
yeah, and would you fuck yourself?